Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is true. That is true. That's true. How about you, Dylan? You been keeping busy?
Yeah, I have another escrow closing at the end of the month.
Oh, congratulations. Good, good. What is it?
A listing.
How much?
It's that rental listing that I was telling you about.
Mhm.
That was a rental. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And
Right.
We listed it at 309, and then the offer was for 318.
Was for how much?
318.
So it went for 9 grand over?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Good. Good, good, good. I like it.
No, I'm like, where do
Good
I
morning.
look?
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? Thank you for coming, by the way. Got a cool little crowd here. Got everybody spread out because of COVID, you know, the resurgence and all that fun stuff. But this is Christy. Christy is originally from the high desert or no?
Not originally.
Where are you from originally?
Highland. I grew up in Highland.
Okay, from Highland, and then you maneuvered your way out to the high desert eventually,
Uh-huh.
and now down to Menifee.
Yes.
Okay, and the reason that I like Christy is because she's a stud, and I like studs. So she has done a ton of business. In the last year, in the last 12 months, I think 2020, she did 12 million, but with an average sales price sitting around 350. So that's, you know, probably 3 a month. So that'd be what, 36 transactions a year, and that's actually a really healthy number, like a really super healthy number. So that being the case, I figured we had to get her in and find out what your secrets are, and then steal them all and rip off and duplicate. R&D, right? That's what R&D means in real estate. You guys all know that, right? Rip off and duplicate. Okay. So anyways, do you mind telling us a little bit about your real estate journey, kind of how you got into real estate and why?
I started when I was 9, ordering signs for my dad and my uncle.
Oh, okay. Family business.
Yes, I only screwed up once.
Okay. How'd you screw up?
It was the wrong sign on the wrong house.
Oops. Okay, well that happens.
Yeah.
We have sold a house to the wrong person because somebody put the wrong sign on the house, and we actually sold the wrong house to a person here in the company. We had to buy the house.
Oh
So
my
it happens.
gosh.
It happens.
Wow.
I wonder if that was you.
No,
that did it.
I was 9.
All right, okay. Then you're off the hook. So why did you decide to go into real estate?
It just happened. It was rolled right into it.
You just started assisting and started moving your way along?
Yeah, started out in escrow when I was 18 years old.
Okay. Oh, it started out in escrow.
Yeah, that was my first real job besides my dad and my uncle's company.
Oh,
it was
okay.
2 doors down from their office.
Okay, that's a true sweatshop.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever, if you guys ever want to feel good about your lives, walk into an escrow company and see how hard they work and everything they do. So that's a good start, though. I mean,
Yeah.
as a background for getting into this business.
Yeah.
And then from escrow.
Then when I finally got my license in 2002, I went into lending.
Okay.
So I have a full circle. Yeah.
You guys get it, though? I mean, I started in lending, too. So if you go from escrow to lending to real estate, now you know most everything you need to know about the background of real estate.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then when you started out, did you take off and like a rocket and you just did great right out of the gate, or did it take you a little while to heat up?
It took me a minute to heat up.
Do you remember how long it took you?
I actually did Mike Ferry when I first, like in 2011, I think, is when I kind of got my momentum to, like, you know, my kids were getting a little bit older, so, you know, I had a coach and
do you mind
worked with
sharing
somebody great.
with them like a little bit about, because I think it's it's kind of, we've fallen away from it. Like people don't really do that as much, but do you mind explaining what, because I've been through it too, like what the Mike Ferry system is all about and how it kind of built you up a little bit?
Well, back then, and still today, I use these practices. It's really just the basics. It's just talking to people. It's not all about the social media. It's about really talking to people and just being honest and true to yourself and keeping in contact with everybody. That's really the bottom line.
Did you used to go to the productivity schools?
Absolutely. I went to the Superstar retreats in Vegas, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think the real thing about, and you would love this, doing the for sale by owners and the expireds and all that, it's scripts.
Yeah, they do.
It is scripts, right?
Yep, it is a lot of scripts, but you have to manipulate it to, fit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to sound like a robot.
Right.
Yeah.
Does anybody in here ever had any experience with scripts yet? You have? Anybody else? Did you downloaded them?
Yeah, I use Tom Ferry.
You use Tom Ferry? Okay, well.
He's
Yeah.
the upbeat version of Mike.
Yeah, the little bit cooler, nicer
Yeah.
version of Mike.
My style.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And he's a little bit more social media, and he's like up to,
Yeah, for sure. We've had him on, which was super cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was really great. So, and how about being a boss versus not being a boss? Like, and again, since you started out in this business, you already kind of had a background in it, but how do you manage yourself? Because what a lot of people do is you guys are obviously going to make it, you're here, you're showing up and you're doing things, but how many of those people out there that are their own bosses right now are still in bed? Or hanging out, you know what I mean? It'd be easy to do. You have kids, so you had to get up. All right, but I mean, how do you manage your business without having a boss?
It is just about creating habits. I mean, that's
Do you mind sharing some of your habits?
I get up at 5:45 in the morning, 6 o'clock, because my dogs make me
Mm-hmm.
at this point. But I've always gotten up early anyway, and I usually get up and do some exercise, try to do devotionals.
Okay. Do you
And
mind
read a
sharing?
little bit.
Talk about the devotionals. What are those?
I do a Bible devotional.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have like a series of something that, a women's devotional, a marriage devotional, just something.
Okay. All right. So, and now what's like 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Now what?
Getting ready for work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get ready.
And I listen to podcasts sometimes when I'm getting ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you listen to one today?
I actually did.
What was it?
There's one on Spotify, Women in Real Estate,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of kick-ass, so I dig her right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while you're getting ready, while you're doing your thing, you're listening to Spotify, Women in Real Estate.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm doing that right now, especially because I'm in a new area, and I'm trying to just like rejuvenate my brain into like getting back to the basics and meeting new people and.
So when she's talking about in a new area, so she's from the high desert, right? Does business there, and she just moved to Menifee. So now she's got to do what a lot of agents do, which is like because we've had agents that have moved here from Philadelphia and just drop them in. You moved from back east, right? So New Jersey. So you get dropped in, and it's going to be very different than you. You're from this area. No, you weren't. You spent some time in Orange County. Okay. So that being the case, you have people at least and you've got family and all that. You're starting cold.
Yep.
So, and that's what I wanted to get to next. For the people that are newer, and there'll be a lot of people that are newer watching this, how are you starting out, like trying to capture this area?
Meeting my neighbors,
Okay.
trying to get plugged into certain things, talking to people at the gym without being creepy, and I don't know, just being more social, putting yourself out there, but still kind of being true to yourself, not being fake.
Okay. Okay. I like that. So, I mean, there are so many people, and I bet you the majority of the people in this room are your neighbors in your database. Yes, most of them are not. Surprisingly, when I talk to people, even the top producers, they don't know their neighbors. So that's super cool.
My neighbors were in my database before I moved here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. And then how do you meet them? You just like wait for them to you just look at the window and wait for them to wash their car and then run out real fast?
Well, I've walked my dogs a lot.
Okay. That's a good way to do it.
That's a good way to do it.
People do it with strollers. They do it with anything they possibly can. So, okay, so I like that. So meeting the neighbors. And then at the gym, talk to me about how you would, are you literally there looking at everybody as
I know,
her,
potential client.
him? Is that what you're doing?
Just look to see who's friendly and not too focused. You don't want to interrupt somebody's workout. But if
Right.
they're just kind of I'm really here, I'm working out, but not.
Right, like most of us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then you'll just wander over and kind of have conversations.
Yeah.
Okay. What other things? What other things are you doing to kind of and as you meet these people at the gym, are you putting them in your database?
Yeah.
And
If
how are
I
you
get that
how are you
much
doing that? How
information.
do you do it?
Just a name. We have ways of finding people, looking them up on social media. Once you get your name, you can find their address, and then all of a sudden they're getting mailers. Until I can score an email.
right? Scoring, that's the goal. An email or a phone number, right?
Yep.
So you guys get that though, right? That's pretty cool. I mean, she's literally, I mean, I hate to say it, but hopefully none of those gym people are here, but she's hunting you.
I know.
All right, she's looking for you guys, and she's going to try to find you.
Yeah.
So I love that. Okay, so and then what else? What else are you planning on doing? Have you are you going to do open houses? Like, what's your plan?
Yes, I am going to have to start doing open houses, start meeting buyers like that, and I've mainly been a listing agent through my whole entire career. So.
Oh well, that's because you knew everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, by the way. You want to
Yeah.
be a listing. You want to be a
You
listing.
want to be a listing
Apologize.
agent.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, so you can have an asset, right?
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So you're starting with buyers.
Yeah.
And I mean, just from the cycle, obviously, that we see all the time from the people that start out new and are really successful. Usually, the first year, I'd say the first 10 months, they'll maybe do one sale, maybe two, and then from there, year number 2, that's when they start to pick up steam, 6 to 12, and then the real super studs, right? When they hit year 3, that's when the original buyers and everybody they know starts to come back. The listings start happening, and year 3 is when you see people break 200. In my opinion, of how that happens. But the first year is tough, and it's tough. Yeah. Tough, right, Dylan? I mean, it's tough. I just want to prep. It's right.
Tough.
I mean,
he's a hard worker.
I know, making cold calls and doing all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's tough. Okay, so I like that. So you're constantly adding everybody to your database. You're starting out with buyers for now. If you're at an open house, have you sat any out here yet?
Not yet.
Okay. You sat them up in the high desert though.
Oh,
Do you mind talking
long time
about
ago.
open house conversion?
Well, if they're not walking in with their agent, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Talk to me.
You just talk to them and find out, where they're looking at in the area, and just talk and
Be yourself.
be yourself. Make a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see how like presentable and fun, and like you can just kind of feel her vibe. That's what y'all got to have when you're at the open houses too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. So I like that. Okay. So what about? So obviously you so we know how you're getting started. You're going to do open houses. You're hitting people up at the gym. You're going to probably everything you're invited to. Significant others, probably friends, family, people that he knows around the area.
He passes my card around all the time at work.
Well, and that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Some of our top 10, by the way, they don't even market. Like I know one of our top 10, she's like number 6, and her husband owns a mechanic shop, and most of the business all comes from him. Every time
That's
somebody
awesome.
comes in to get their car fixed,
Yeah.
like nonstop all day long, because everybody wonders like, where does she get all her business? She seems like she's always home and this and that. It's him. So I mean, just she's got to close the deal, but
Right.
he's just like, don't forget her. So okay, what about the people up in the desert? Once you do get somebody in your database, now that you have your neighbors in your database, how are you going to kind of work that situation? What's your plan with them?
You mean as opposed to my
Like
market
now they're in my
outlet?
database. How are you going to treat them? How are you going to keep them in contact? Let them know what you do. Like, what's your system?
Oh, right now I'm kind of like in the bombarding system beginning. Like every other week, they're getting stuff from me.
Okay.
If
Do you
they're
mind
in the email.
like?
I've done postcards, flyers, and I'm just kind of rotating.
And you're dropping them right to your neighbor next door?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that.
Even if they don't even know me yet. Like one side does, but the other side really doesn't know me yet. But they'll see my face and they'll put a name to it and figure it out.
So postcards and flyers. What else?
That's really it in my neighborhood. But it's been pretty consistent.
Okay.
So.
And that's because you're still farming. You're
Yeah.
still trying to create. Are you going to hit farm your neighborhood?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I already have.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And
I
how
haven't done any door knocking or anything
That's
yet.
all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday who's just starting their farm, and they were asking like, how can I get this going? What should I do? And there's the best way to do it, in my personal opinion, and of course you've been doing this a long time too, is like I know one had a churro truck for their neighborhood with ice cream and churros, and knocked on every single door. Just said, hey, Saturday I'm going to have a churro truck from noon to 4. If you want to come by, that'd be great. Then they've also had a taco truck, and they're knocking everybody's door to invite all the neighbors over to let them know that this is what they're doing. And it's probably the best $500 they'll ever spend in their life.
That's actually really good.
And they're just collecting one at a time. And then there's a drawing thing where they can drop their information in it and all that stuff, and then they've got everybody.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, good.
And I
thought
like
you would.
churros.
And you like churros, see? Perfect. So that's one way. The other thing is a problem that we've kind of run into is people, especially, is anybody here thinking about starting a farm? Hi, Gabby. Anybody here thinking about starting a farm? If you do, the one thing I will tell you is a lot of people choose the wrong neighborhoods. And they'll choose neighborhoods with a turnover of like 4%, and that's a big mistake. You have to look at that track and you have to see what is the turnover in that development. So for example, the one that this guy, I know, you guys all know him, he's been working it for a year and a half, he hasn't gotten anything, but it's been like a 2 to 3% turnover in a year. But the average sales price is $1 million in this development.
Yeah.
But whereas this Tara, who was on the show 3 weeks ago, her turnover in her neighborhood's 11%.
Yeah.
So she's had 6 so far this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just a thought.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I've already checked that out.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
And good turnover?
My neighborhood actually went down in turnover rate in this last like 6 months.
Okay.
But there is one because I picked four farm neighborhoods, and
Okay.
they're not huge farms. They're only like 120 properties, and there's one in Marietta that I'm really kind of working because it's like a 9% turnover.
Okay.
So,
I like that. And
yeah.
the other thing is, so are you concerned about other people that are farming the neighborhood?
Well, yeah, but what am I going to do? How am I going to?
I mean, would it deter you?
No.
Good.
Yeah,
That's what I
not
like.
at all.
Because most people, I think you'll agree, they'll stop.
Yeah.
They'll
No.
start farming and then they'll stop.
Yep.
And it's the slow, steady one. I have no doubt, by the way. I think she'll win these farms. Do you guys agree?
It's a consistent thing.
She's going to get them. She's got the track record to do it. So, okay, cool. So that's a little bit about business development, right? Hitting the farm and all that sort of stuff. Now, how about the people that you have up in the high desert, for example? You talked a little bit about texting and do you follow any certain structure on the way you cultivate those people to make sure that they remember Christy?
Well, I've been up there for a really long time. So obviously I've befriended a lot of my clients up there. So that's kind of an easy thing. We're usually in contact anyway. But the other one is just, and this is a Mike Ferry thing, but just go through your alphabet and do like A to C for like one day a week, and then you just kind of go from there and divide it up. And Facebook the same way, go through your Facebook contacts and just do A and B one day.
When you say one day, do you mean like direct message or text?
Direct message or text, or send them something, a video or a funny thing.
Speaking of videos.
Oh, stop.
We found a video of her online. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. So Adam, you still get that video?
Yeah, only the Facebook audience will be able to see it though.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I'll tell you guys the story, and then we can go from there. So Christy got an up call in the Menifee office.
Yes.
And well, you can tell the story.
Well, I actually haven't signed up for an uptime in so long, but I did. I signed up for a few this month, and I actually got a listing call yesterday. And he's from Long Beach, and he's not going to be here till next week. So I made a video really quick, and I sent it to him. So because I know he's calling 2 other agents, I wanted to kind of set myself apart. So I made him a little video.
And you sent it, and then
I sent it, and he said, "Thank you, and I'll talk to you next week when I'm in town."
So I'm assuming that he's most likely going to drop the other people and hopefully just work with you, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, so she sent a video, and so we have it queued up, so the Facebook people at home get to watch it. All right, so fire away, Adam. You guys probably won't be able to hear it, so, but will they be able to hear it in here?
Hi, Mr.
Oh,
Eastman.
just let me know when it's over.
From Caldwell Banker. We just spoke a little bit ago in regards to your property on Jalen. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I just wanted to introduce myself directly. I've been with Caldwell Banker for a little over 12 years. I've been in this business for about 20. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be sending you over your presentation here and comparables in just a couple seconds. But I wanted you to have a face to the name. If you have any questions whatsoever, please give me a call back at 760-954-8608. I look forward to hearing from you.
All right, so there you go. And this is my favorite thing, okay? Because here's what I love about videos. Number one, the cool part about videos is she's authentic. You guys saw that. She's just like, and by the way, she was bold. She did not care. How many people would just send out a video like that and just do it? And my favorite line is, my favorite line in all of video is, if you aren't happy with the video, right? And you're like, oh, it's not amazing, but
No,
but
it's just like whatever.
But my, and this is not applying to yours, but my crappy video will outdo your absent video every time. That's what I always say. And the other thing is to be authentic, because if he sees you and listens to you and doesn't like you and doesn't work with you, then maybe he wasn't supposed to.
Right,
and maybe
for
it
sure.
wouldn't have been a personality you want to deal with.
For sure.
So when she sent that video and I found out about that, I got super pumped because I love aggressive people like that. So, but it's sweet aggressive. It's nice. If you watch it, it was cool. So, okay, cool. So what about mailers for your people that are in your database? What about gifts? Like, do you have any set schedule of like guilting them in any way? Like, how do you get them to use
Guilt
you?
is a strong word.
Well, no, but you know what I mean? It's like, I used to guilt them with See's Candy. Like, come on, I gave you See's Candy. There's no way you can't list with me. Come on.
That's true.
Yeah.
For past clients and stuff, I usually do a Christmas, I always do a Christmas gift of some sort, and you try to just think of the gifts that keep on giving. An ornament that has your brand on it. A closing gift that has your brand on it that they constantly use. That's in their kitchen or somewhere in their house that they have to see it every day, but just has your brand on it. And so those kind of things.
So the ornament, I'm assuming, isn't just a big face of Christy, right?
No, it's not. It's a really cute ornament, but it's engraved
Oh,
on the
okay.
back.
And what
it
is
has
it?
their year and the year, and actually the year they purchased the house from me, and the address, and it's a forever thing.
I like that.
Keepsake.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so you do that for the holidays. Anything else throughout the year?
Other than like closing gifts and I mean, not really.
So you don't have to spend a ton, but I mean, it's pretty obvious she befriends her clients.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what she
Yeah,
does.
I mean, and if they post something that they're like they did a social event or there was a kid's birthday, which I probably will already know anyway, because I try to get as much information at a listing appointment as possible. And then I just jot it down and then put it in my database and just check.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So and then so you always comment on all their stuff. And
I try to.
And so, do you have a strategy when you do that? Like, do you set a time aside that you're gonna like, okay, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna do this or that?
No, not really. It's just when I have a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no structure to it.
No, not
Okay.
really.
All
Not
right.
social media. I have a
Okay.
love-hate relationship with social media.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well that's cool. So all right, so how about this? During you still did 36 transactions and all that during 2020, right in the midst of COVID and stuff. Did you learn anything through that process that has helped you that you'll keep in your business?
I kind of did everything the same in regards to my routine and prospecting and stuff like that. The only different thing that I did was the videos and, going and showing houses through videos.
Okay.
And staying at home, which I didn't like. But, I mean, that was really the only different. Everything else was pretty much the same.
So you just kept charging ahead.
Yeah.
You didn't use it as an excuse.
Oh, no, not
A lot
at
of
all.
people went and hid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I almost
Yeah.
felt like they used it as an excuse not to do anything.
Yeah, but there was so much business out there.
I know, it's
It was
crazy.
crazy.
Good times, right? Good times. And it's still there.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, what are you seeing like in this current market, by the way?
Well, here
Normalizing.
I'm learning. Normalizing. It's leveling.
Sarah?
My word is leveling, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, offers, like, are you still seeing, like, up in the high desert, were you guys getting 20, 30 offers on everything?
and
Okay.
it's still like that.
Okay, still,
Yeah,
that
still,
many?
Yeah.
Okay,
It depending on the house and the property and stuff, but
okay,
yeah.
okay. I mean, because it seems like we're starting to see five to 10 down here. I think
Yeah.
right now, hopefully, it's starting to be 5 to 10, which is
Right.
still healthy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so, in 3 days.
Yeah. The
But-
market up there is so much smaller though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's 5 communities really, but
What if
there's really
somebody-
only 800 listings.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what if somebody wants to move to the high desert? Who should they call?
Me.
There it is. Okay. So now, what about value proposition? Like, if I were coming to the area, why would I use you? Why should I use you?
Well, I think my value proposition is that just provide value, be honest, and treat all of your clients and everybody that you meet. Actually, treat them with respect and honesty, and act like you really care about them and their greatest asset, because that is what you're dealing with, their greatest asset, and you cannot ever forget that.
Right. Right. Now, how about somebody? I'm sure you've had a little bit of this in your career, though, right?
For sure.
What about people that are new? If you could go back and visit Christy when you first got in the business, I think you said 2002. What advice would you give yourself? If you could go back and whisper the secrets into your ear, what would you tell yourself?
I would consistency. I think that would be my biggest word, is consistency, because I think we go through seasons and we're up and we're down, and I would think just consistency and embrace more of the relationships, because that's what it's all about, is the relationships.
I would agree, and that's probably why. I mean, you've seen the agents that like buy 10,000 leads and go through them all, and then
Yeah.
they sell them a house and kick them to the curb and all that
Right.
sort of stuff. Your clients are clients for life.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say consistency, you mean like if you're going to start doing mailers, constantly do mailers.
Constantly. If you're going to do a farm, be consistent with that farm.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And just incrementally build it over time. And that's the hard part, is I think a lot of people come in thinking they're going to knock it out of the park.
Yes, and it is not. It's some people you meet, it's a cultivating relationship for 3 or 4 years before you actually.
True.
But sometimes it's a month.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the first showing.
It is.
It's rare, but it happens.
But it happens. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it's part of the thing. It's been rough watching through COVID, for example, because we've probably had over 80 agents join us during COVID that are new. And so they couldn't do open houses, they couldn't go out socially and do the things you're talking about, they can't door knock. And so it's just been really, really hard, and so, and trying to keep them up and keep them in the business and make sure that they make it. And so they're jumping to teams, they're doing all kinds of stuff to try to survive, which is a bummer, because they don't get to enjoy the business by doing it the way you're doing it.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it really just is building and building and building and listening to people's advice, right?
Yep.
And surrounding yourself with top producers. Was there any people along the way that dramatically helped you?
Absolutely.
And can you think of a couple right now?
Yeah.
And how did they help you? Like, what did they do specifically?
Well, one specifically, the one that I first actually worked with, she was amazing. Like, she was totally kick butt. I've just never seen such drive, and honestly, she had an attitude of, I don't care, I'm doing it. Like, if you look like a fool, it's okay. You know, you may never see that person again, or you may see them, and who cares? You know,
Right.
I kind of, which is totally not my personality, but I really dig it.
Right. So, but she would ask for business.
Oh, bold.
Really?
So bold.
Like what?
She was also part of Mike Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
she just didn't care. She'd ask for business, she'd call whoever, talk to strangers, and yeah.
So do you know anybody looking to buy or sell?
Yeah.
Like just right out,
Just
right?
right off the bat. Just, this is what I do. This is who I am. Who do you know?
Right. Well, and it's nice because you have like your nice personality, and then if you can institute some of that drive in there,
For sure,
what a
yeah.
winning combo.
Yeah.
You know, so okay, I like that. And so when you've kind of, and then who else? Who else have you met along the way?
Well, my dad and my uncle too my uncle has got generational business at this point.
Oh.
So he's like third generation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty awesome. So he's a really good example too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the cool things, and I don't know, do you guys know what he means? Amber, do you know what he's talking about? She's talking about with generational. So like if your friends buy, and this was the cool part, like when I was doing it too, is like when your friends buy when they're 23, 24, they're buying that little starter home, which back then was, 200, 300,000. And then they start making some money, and then they buy at 500,000, and they sell that house. And then they send you their brother, then they send you their sister, and then they hit it. I just remember, I can think of many of my friends right now, and then they're buying at 1.3, 1.5 million, and it just continues to go. Now they want to buy some rentals and this and that. So if you take care of people along the way, you can continue to work with people that you know.
Right.
And if you take good care of them along the way, they won't cheat on you.
Yeah. And that's the thing, keeping them keeping in contact with them so they don't forget you.
Bringing them good deals. Now, what about investors? Have you worked with any investors along the way?
A couple, but my business has not been investor driven at all. Just a couple.
Just a couple. You
Yeah, in the high
you
desert.
work with the families.
Yeah.
Okay, and
The families, first time home buyers, they get all so excited, new families, stuff like that.
okay.
I mean,
okay.
it started out with my kids' friends from, Pee Wee soccer.
Right.
So,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, kids are, well, I asked her right out of the gate, I'm like, how old are your kids? And I'm like, oh.
I know, it was a bummer. They're all old.
Because when they're little, like if you have a 3 or a 4-year-old, super stud time,
Yeah.
or a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old that's
Yeah.
like
It's a
in
sport.
sports or soccer,
Yeah.
and you can go be team mom or, assistant coach dad or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a dream. So.
Yeah, booster club president at school.
Oh, for sure.
Do it all.
Was that
Just
you?
do it all. Yeah,
Was that you?
absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Out front.
Yep.
But let me guess, your signature and emails had your real estate contact on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
good.
for
good.
sure.
I like that. How about plans for the future?
Well, I just got married this year, so we're
congrats.
just planning lots of little trips and having fun with that.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
And
it.
building here.
Right. And building this area.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't come to the high desert.
No. He actually did spend 4 years there, and I didn't know him way back then.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no.
No, not doing it. Menifee all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's from Glendora, so
Okay.
work brought him here.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about kind of what you've said so far. So, in terms of like moving to this area, meeting the neighbors, meeting people at the gym, taking some piece from your old mentor and being bold, asking people for business, being confident, being out front, building relationships, not being scared is kind of what you got from that lady too, right? You just go. You might never see him again. Go get it, right? And then once you do have them, you were doing holiday gifts. You have a texting program, A through C, or calling program, D through F, all that sort of stuff, where you would follow your calendar, consistency. And her word was consistency, right? Yeah. The word that she would whisper in her ear. And that's the big thing for everybody to know is you cannot do it overnight. You're doing the hard work right now, dude. Yeah. Just so you know, those cold calls and all that stuff, hopefully you're keeping some of these people, dropping them into your database, and going to be able to have a database like she's got someday, right?
Yeah, I send them letters and stuff.
Perfect. And how about personal notes? Do you ever do those?
Oh yeah.
And
right now I'm doing a whole bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah.
How many?
Probably like 10 a day.
10 a day personal notes.
Right. But that's right now for me because I'm trying to, reestablish, keep what I got up there,
What do you put in the personal notes?
I don't know, how you doing? I give a little bit of information depending on who it is, like what's going
Handwritten?
on in my life, handwritten.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. If I, if I know their kids, how so and so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so consistency also in keeping in contact,
Yeah.
like we said, the holidays, the cards. You text people all the time, probably. You call people all the time. You said you do mailers, you do postcards. Do you send any postcards or mailers to the people that are in your database?
Yes.
Okay, so if you
Yeah.
take a new listing, will you take a just listed card and send it to them as
For
well?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It goes to
something that a lot of
everybody.
people don't do.
Yeah.
So do you guys get that? Instead of just sending the just listed to that neighborhood, she sends just listed cards to all of the people in her database, which is super cool.
Yeah. Because you never know. They all know somebody. Maybe they want to know, somebody wants to go to that neighborhood or something.
Right. Okay, so obviously you've got that, and then plans for the future. You mentioned, what's the big plan there? Just to keep charging in this area?
Keep charging through and,
Farming 4 neighborhoods.
farming 4 neighborhoods and
What kind of
planning some
budget?
trips.
On the
for-
farming.
On my farming. Right now, I'm trying to keep my marketing probably at about $500 a month. Which
For all
is-
4 farms?
For all 4 farms.
Okay.
But I just do a lot of stuff myself, and postage is the most expensive thing, honestly.
And that stuff works.
Yeah, totally.
Have you gotten any responses off any of your farming materials yet because you've only been here like, what, a month? Anything at all
Nothing
yet?
yet.
Nothing yet?
Nothing yet.
But you're not stopping?
I'm not stopping. No.
Okay,
My
cool.
neighbors are going to come around.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you see that? My neighbors are going to come around,
They
just so you
will.
know. Okay,
Yeah, they're
cool.
gonna see me.
So any questions? Does anybody have any questions for Chrissy? Yes, Adam.
Michelle Connolly would like to know who makes your Christmas ornaments?
Personalized mall online.
Personalized.
Called Personalized Mall.
Okay.
Personalization Mall, something
Cool.
like that.
I know, like Jennifer Murphy, and there's like maybe 5 or 6 of the top 10 too. They have a company, and I wish I could remember what it's called. And don't quote me on this, but I think it's called like Elephant Gifts. But that doesn't really have to do with it. But so when she puts somebody in her database, they get a brownie mailed to them for their birthday. They get something sent to them for St. Patrick's Day. They get like a beach ball for 4th of July. Like it automatically goes out, and they think it's from Christy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just automatically going and contacting all their people with you at not actually having to do the work.
Right.
And it's
I've actually seen that. Did you tell me about that? Yes.
Oh, really?
Remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was it called again? Do you remember?
Oh, Mailbox Power.
Mailbox?
Power.
Yeah, there's a couple companies that do it, but I use Mailbox Power.
Yeah.
So.
Mailbox Power.
And they have like a monthly subscription.
Yeah, so you can do, you have campaigns.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you go on the membership,
Yeah.
monthly membership. They have campaigns where you can automatically send postcards. You can send them their birthday brownies
Yeah.
or whatever treat you pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they have personalized gifts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool. I mean,
know.
because like one of the books that we just finished reviewing, it says that the key to moving to the next level is starting to automate your processes.
Right.
And they won't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
if
for sure.
some cool little brownie from you, they're not going to know that
No,
they're in a
for
database of 200 other people that are getting it, right? Look at especially, I mean, sometimes you space out, you forget to send them things, right?
Oh, for
And
sure.
what about on their birthdays? Do you text them? Do you DM them?
Yeah.
Or how do you do it?
Either if I remember, if it's a personal and I actually know it, then I'll send them a birthday card.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I always touch base on social media. And
You'll send them a birthday card?
Oh, for sure.
You might be the
A
only
personal
person
one.
that they get to, which is crazy. Yes.
I send birthday cards.
You send birthday cards too?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And if they had a baby, like while we were in the process, which has actually happened to me like 6 times, then that's even more fun because now I know the kid.
You'll send them something for that too?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like a birthday for first year. Always like, a baby gift when they have the baby.
Like?
I don't know, blanket, like normal baby shower gift.
Nice.
Nothing real crazy. I don't want to.
Right. But that,
Baby blanket.
I know,
with
like my brand on it. They don't
That's
need
right.
that.
that's pretty funny.
That
But that's all part of, and you remind me of Mary Long, by the way. If she's one of our agents, if you guys know Mary, I mean, Mary does super great, but she does the same thing. She never forgets anybody's birthday. I mean, she literally carries around dog food and cat food in the back of her car just in case she finds a stray. I mean, she's just like
so funny.
like
I
a super
did that.
nice person that like never forgets birthdays. Like Janie in the company too. Like whenever she goes out, she'll go out antique shopping, in an antique area, and she'll remember that her client really liked Mickey Mouses or something, and finds like a Mickey Mouse from 1950s or something, and will bring them that as a gift. But that sounds like something you would do if you thought about it.
Right. I thought about it for sure.
So that's what makes this business fun.
Yeah.
Like turning those cold calls and like doing what you're doing right now, Ethan. It's hard where you're at right now, but you'll get past that. Cold calls and all that stuff. Did you ever do those? Cold calls and door knocking?
No.
And you were with Mike Ferry?
Well, I mean, cold calls, yes, but not door knocking, really.
Okay.
I would put flyers like on the doors and stuff like that, but to like knock on the door and it's just not my thing.
It wasn't your style, right?
Yeah, but I could call. I've called tons of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Anybody have any questions on the way she does stuff? Anybody at all? You want an assistant?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, because I was just thinking, the cool part, Gabby, the cool part about that is, like, because I know a few people that are looking for assistance right now, by the way. If anybody out there is looking, hit me up, because I do know some people that are looking for assistance. So, but you would just be learning their marketing. Like when you worked for that girl who you started out with, who you said was a super stud, what were you doing? Was she just somebody in the office you followed, or were you on her team, or how?
No, I was actually on our team. I was like her assistant. I had my license and everything, so I was kind of like her buyers. I went and showed for her all the time, and
You got Jedi training.
I did.
Yeah, I started out assistant for a year too. So I went from lending to being a top agent's assistant to being on my own, which is a really great way to do it, guys. I mean, my youngest son, who's gonna probably get into lending, he said he'll go work for Auntie Kim England for a year for free. I'm like, good boy, because that's how you learn the game, right? Is like following and doing what other super studs are doing. So, cool. So, any other questions out there? No. Any questions online, Adam? Are we good?
We are good.
All right, so if nobody has anything, I mean, we got her right here. She's gonna do 36 deals. I want you guys all to be doing what she's doing. You too. You're gonna do great. Dylan, anybody? All right, guys, so that's it. That's it. We got 30 minutes. We're in and out, and it's a great way to start out midweek with Christy. But if you guys have any questions, can they call you?
Absolutely.
You can call her, you can hit her up, and if somebody just wants to come work for her for free, she'll probably take that too. So anyways, well, that's it, guys. If nobody has any questions, then Christy, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And you're awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, let's hear it for Christy. Thank you. All right, and so get out there, be consistent, right? Meet your neighbors, create a database, keep in contact, and maybe get some farms and do it cheap for $500. Do it all yourself until you get yourself an assistant. So, all right, guys, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Cool. Thank you.